I'm really excited to be here. And I've heard that we are now doing 10-minute presentations. I prepared an extra long one to close us out.
I love it. I love it. Brilliant. Brilliant. I should have pulled that.
I wrote a chapter called Zestful Learning, and I'm excited to share some highlights. So I want to begin with a quote from one of my previous colleagues. If you construct a classroom environment that is joyful, it creates intrinsic rewards and leads to positive feelings about CS. Students feel about CS as something that they want to continue learning and exploring. And I believe that zestful or joyful learning is both the process and the product or the outcome. And the reason it's important is it not only leads to like high engagement, but also more effective learning in computer science. And so I'm going to walk through what I've outlined in the chapter as like 6 elements that I believe contribute to zestful learning. The first is creating relevant projects. It is important for students to be able to connect with the content and create things that they actually care about. So that is drawing on their interests and things that they use. It is second about scaffolded creativity. So it's important for students to have the outlet of being able to do things that challenge their brain and allow them to explore creatively. But as other chapters have noted, that process needs to be scaffolded so that students don't fall too far down and also start on the right step. So the goal of doing this is that they arrive at similar outcomes and get the amount of support that they need for that. The third, I believe, is the importance of showcasing and having an authentic audience. So it creates a lot of purpose when there is an intentional opportunity for presenting one's work. And so I've seen teachers do this really effectively by having showcases at the end of every period or often at the end of a week or unit, and the students know that they have that opportunity and they look forward to having the opportunity to like show off to their peers as well as their community. Another element is having a supportive classroom culture, and I think that there are 2 kind of key elements here. One is like the role of the teacher as the coach, and perhaps a more supportive coach is not yelling. And the goal here is that it is figuring out what students need in the moment to push them forward on those creative projects. And again, I think that an analogy for zestful learning is closer to writer's workshop at elementary level than what is often like a college level course. It is about like them along the way, diagnose learning, and also clean up learning that happens. The second element of that is like teamwork, and it's that students learn how to foster an inclusive culture. They learn how to give appropriate feedback to solicit it, how to involve others, how to design for other audiences. A 5th element is the need for discovery and exploration. I think people, especially children, I like the child on the leash here, want to run free and to explore things. And we need to give that opportunity because that creates a lot of joy. And so I think there's a great need for tinkering and have the opportunity to like play as part of learning. Obviously that should be constrained, so maybe tethering them to the wrist. And last, I think that there needs to be physical activity. And I think this involves a couple of things. One is like all good instruction involves like not sitting and waiting. So I hope that you've gotten up during this long call because that's also important to have a little movement. So that is having different end modality as well as breaks. And it's also taking a chance to like unplug and think about having more concrete representations of these concepts. So those 6 things are the elements that I've summarized as part of Zestful Learning. And like the others, if you want more, you can see what this excellent book is. And I will pause there.